Hi, welcome to my Midjourney online interface tutorial. First, on the Midjourney website, we're going to click Login, continue with Discord. Then you're going to sign into a new account and enter the info that we provided to you. This is the Midjourney homepage or the Explore page where you see other artists' work. We're going to be working with the Create page. On the Create page, at the top is your prompt bar. Let's enter a quick prompt, a dog. It takes about 30 to 45 seconds, maybe a little longer for prompts, but we'll fast forward. As you can see from that prompt, we got 4 images of generic dogs. Midjourney prompts are most successful when they're very specific and descriptive. For our next prompt, let's try something more specific. A black golden retriever with long flowing hair chasing a red ball. This is what we got from that prompt. It's much more specific and descriptive to what we wanted. Let's add even more detail to our next prompt. A sleek black golden retriever with long glossy flowing hair eagerly sprinting after a bright red ball. This is what we got from that last prompt. It's becoming much more specific. Another thing to keep in mind when making Midjourney prompts is the styles that you use. To this prompt, let's add in the style of an oil impressionist painting. Because we included that style in the prompt, the images are now looking more like an oil painting. To quickly reuse a prompt, simply click on it in your history. Let's go over a few of the settings that you can change in your prompt bar. First, image size. This is where you can change the aspect ratio of the images that Midjourney generates. And you can reset as well. The model modes, I usually use standard unless my prompts really are not giving me what I want, then I'll switch. I use the latest version, and we will not be using the personalized setting very much. The aesthetic settings, you can adjust stylization, weirdness, variety. We'll go over what some of those things do. First, style. It adjusts how artistically inclined your images are. Once you adjust the settings, a tab will show up indicating which setting you adjusted in the prompt. The output of a prompt with high stylization has good composition and color balances. To reuse a complete prompt with the style changes, click this button. If you want to reuse a prompt and change the settings, it's important to delete the stuff at the end. Now let's look at the weirdness factor. It adds a bit of quirkiness to your prompt, which can result in unexpected outcomes. The results of this prompt definitely are weird. Last, let's look at the variety setting. Increasing the variety provides a more random, unexpected outcome for each image. It's apparent that each of these images has a distinct style due to the variety setting. Right-clicking an image brings up this set of options. Let's try making variations from this specific image. Strong variations adjust the image dramatically, while subtle variations create very minute changes in the new image. These are the strong and subtle variations of that last image. From this set of options, you can upscale, you can remix images, create a zoom, and do other things as well. Right now, let's use this image in our prompt. Using an image in a prompt is like using words, but it's an image. These are the results from that text and image prompt, although they're pretty skewed from the weirdness value. To reuse an image in a prompt, just click on it. Now, let's reuse the text from this prompt. Go to our settings, reset the aesthetics. And when we hover over the image, there's 3 different settings for the image. We'll use the style reference. Style reference images affect the generated images differently than an image prompt by influencing the color, composition, and overall aesthetics. The third setting you can use on images is character reference. This is good for creating characters that look the same in new generations, but we won't really use that. Within Midjourney, there are a lot of other settings and parameters you can input manually. For instance, this dash dash no is a negative prompt, and anything written after it will be excluded from the prompt. There are a lot of other manual parameters. I'll put a link in the description to Midjourney's website explaining more about them. The manual parameters also leave tags that you can click and repeat in other prompts. As you can see from these images, the no parameter didn't work exactly right. Sometimes it takes a lot of prompt tweaking. You can edit the generated images as well. Clicking on the image brings up this inventory. You can vary images, subtle and strong, upscale them as well. Let's do both of those. And let's try a remix of this image. Using the editor allows us to take parts of the image that we don't want and rerun the prompt or change the prompt in that specific area. For example, this goldfish is floating in the air. Let's see if we can't get him to be more close to the water. This is one of our upscaled images, and it was the subtle upscale. And that was the strong. You can see there's some variance between the images. The remix took our dog and our goldfish, put them in different positions, and gave them a slightly different style in each. It's really useful for reusing images that you like but want just a little different. And last, the editor, you can see that these fish are in different locations and different sizes, only in the areas that we painted. And luckily, in one of the images, we got the fish to be in the water. Let's do a 2x scale zoom. Essentially, what the zoom does is it takes our image, zooms out, and creates a whole new background for the original generated image. Now, moving on from prompts of dogs, these are some prompts that I was working on that could influence a landscape design. I started working with the form of trees in my prompts, working with color and the form, and then I tried some other prompts that were more literal to the landscape, which really create some interesting patterns. That looks like a plan view. Anyways, the one I really liked was this one, and I'll show you guys how one would implement something like this into a landscape design. Now that I have my image upscaled, I'm going to right click and save image. After my image was exported, I took it into Morpholio. This is just a simple house footprint with a property line with the driveway. My image is on the right. And I am kind of picking out lines and forms from my image and adding it to my landscape. I like the curve of the branches of this image and how they correspond with the harder edges shown in the image as well. And I'm taking some of the plant material, some of the larger shrubs and trees also from the image and their locations and the relationships with the lines around them. I'm interested in the materials, so I'm also thinking about where are pavers, where are paths, lines of travel, where are larger forms of vegetation. And then I'm including some other program elements like a patio and a entertainment area out there. And after you get the main form from this image and the inspiration, then you can go over the top and refine things to make them more interesting and figure out which materials go where. And in using these AI generated images, you can come up with some really interesting forms. Thank you.